Mad Lions expected to win their first game, and they did so. Even with some questionable moments, C9 on the opposite side almost brought it back. Almost found that win against RNG, but couldn't quite make it. We would wonder maybe they'd be a little frustrated after that one, but smiles on the face of Perks means we don't have too much to worry about.
Yeah, and they took down Damwon as well, and it all came down to Cloud9's team fighting. Those games that they won, it felt like they were behind even in the RNG game, but they somehow find a fight, and that's been the key thing for them. But Mad Lions, we know them as a team fight team, but they've had a few happy games this tournament, let's say, but we're straight into draft, and it looks like every single jungler is open. Mad Lions banning away the Senna means that Udyr, Morgana, Rumble are open. We'll see what C9 want to prioritize, because Tristana is also up.
Tristana up and available, Lucian up and available.
Kai'Sa.
The Kai'Sa, pick of the litter, really. Obviously, Kai'Sa Nanos has been the most popular bot lane that we've seen at the tournament thus far. But for now, we can expect early jungle priority. With 3 jungle picks up and available, though, technically Cloud9 could just let them slip through and take what is remaining. This time around, however, they're going to take the Rumble away. Now, Elyoya played in the previous game. A little bit of a rough early game from Elyoya in a few different spots. Yep. That said, Blabber, we'll see what he can do on it. Yeah,
I think Mad Lions should take away the Tristana here, or something like the Lucian, because C9 are definitely going to pick that on 2-3 with a Rumble, right? AP jungle, you want some AD solo laners. Lee Sin and Renekton are already out. Mad Lions probably going to respond with Morgana here, or they could just go for full bot lane, like the Kai'Sa Nautilus, and pick jungle on 3. But then you're not denying these AD solo laners, right? But it's still a really good composition for you. But there it is. They're denying the Lucian. That means that C9 have to opt into the Tristana, which they're no stranger to. They like flexing that between mid and AD. But taking away this Lucian is crucial, because now when you set up your AP jungler on 3, you at least have an AD solo lane to match it with.
Now Cloud9 taking the time, they're helping the Kalista. Wouldn't mind seeing the Kalista pick. Obviously a pick that can be very dominant in the early game, and especially with her ultimate able to set up and make sure that Rumble ult is going to work to maximum effect. So not only do they take the Nod away, they set themselves up with an aggressive bot lane with the Kalista and Nautilus lock-ins, and now the Rumble ult is going to be so easy to hit successfully in fights with these second champions locked in.
Yeah, denying the Nautilus from the Kai'Sa. Maybe Mad Lions have to change it up here and respond with support, but then you're sacking jungle. If they ban away Morgana Udyr, you're down to like an A-tier jungler against the Rumble. Maybe you can run something like the Olaf Volibear if you want to go for something like your support on 3, but no. Udyr pickup is definitely the best thing to do here for Mad Lions. C9 probably going to target those supports then away, whereas Mad Lions can target the mid laners. Maybe they want to ban away things like the Tristana, because you've already got the Lucian for Humanoid. But Mad Lions have last pick, so that means that C9 have to blind pick their top laner.
Something that I imagine C9 will be comfortable doing. In the previous game, they opted to leave Fudge on an island, and while, yes, the lane phase was miserable, ultimately they were able to bring him back in the fights up until just, well, the final moment of the game. See if it's a similar strategy today, as for now the focus is going to be on the mid lane bans, banning away some of the AP options for Perks in the mid lane, taking the Victor off the board.
Yeah, expect things like Leona to be banned away from the side of Mad Lions. C9 probably should target those kind of things. Alistar as well, very rough champion for Kalista, right? The combo just kind of negates all of her potential, but that's a Karma ban. I wonder if that's a Karma top lane ban. Not really sure where that's targeted at, because I don't think that Mad Lions would opt into a Kai'Sa Karma bot lane here. That's very dangerous into a Kalista Nautilus, but Karma ban regardless, and Mad Lions targeting the mid lane of C9. Perks obviously playing Victor, maybe an Orianna ban could help them out as well.
Well, certainly one thing that could mitigate the effectiveness of a Rumble ultimate would be a Karma Mantra E coming out of a solo lane when you have a bit more AP, a bit more items under your belt. But the Tristana ban, no surprise to see that come out.
Yep. Targeted at Perks. They want to make sure they don't have this AD, AP, mid-jungle mix that's so strong in the early stages. Yes, Perks can go towards that Yone that he also played, so he's still got some AD champs to work with, maybe in Irelia, if we could see it. I doubt it, but still, the option is there. Alistar banned away like we expected. This champion to Kalista is very rough for the Kalista, one combo, and he's going to get taken down from the Kai'Sa ult in fights, easily to isolate and take them down. But the Leona still up for Kai'Sa. I wouldn't be surprised to see Kai'Sa just pick up the Leona here, and then just look to counter pick top.
Taking the time. Looks to be the Leona as predicted here. Could make a last-minute pivot. We've certainly seen other champions come out today, but the Leona will be the option as C9 now have to make their final rotation.
Yeah, I think C9 can opt into something like the Sion Orianna here or Sion Yone. Just round out your team comp with some team fight potential, because I think you can have a weak side top in this draft. You have a lot of damage already. Just pair it up with some engage. Something like a GP or a Sion could be really good for them. And then just pair it with some kind of scaling mid laner. Something like the Yone, something like the Orianna would make their comp really strong. But then Mad Lions could look to last pick something like the Wukong, which would do really well into the Kalista.
And we've seen Mad Lions when they're up against the wall in the playoffs. Against Rogue, they did go towards the Wukong. They opted to snowball that pick ahead in the early game, and it paid off for them. Will they try to do the same up against Fudge here? Could be a tall task, but certainly I feel great for Blabber in this game. There is so much CC to set up for incredible, incredible ultimates, but that right there is a Kindred. But here's the thing.
It's Kindred mid.
Blabber said he was never playing weak junglers again. Kindred's clear speed is very slow, and you called it out. Perks has been playing Kindred in 1v1s, Kindred in solo queue, Kindred everywhere, and this might just be the Kindred mid.
This could be a Kindred mid. It could be a Rumble too, but I think it's going to be a Kindred mid. Now, let's just focus on Mad Lions 1 sec before we look at that, because they have a lot of AD damage, and yeah, last picking some kind of AP champ is their best option here, I would say, unless they want to go for something like the Wukong, but the Sylas is going to get picked up for Mad Lions here. That's going to be Armut on the Sylas top, and I think that's his first game of Sylas top this year. I don't think I've seen him play it at all this year and that's going to be picked up against Rumble, against Nautilus, some good ultimates to take away, but now let's look at this Kindred. I think this is going to be a Kindred mid, Dracos.
I'm almost speechless. I'm ready to see this. I remember when Kindred first came out, people were talking about it. Trinity Force Kindred mid was something that got played a little bit. But obviously, have to see what Perkz can do on the pick. It's not something that we've seen in pro play just yet. How will it face into the Lucian? Going to be a big question on our mind. Certainly a champion with a lot of utility in the ultimate, can have good damage output. Hard to get the marks in that early game, unless, of course, you can find a lot of kills. Yeah,
and we were talking about AD solo laners. What does Perkz have left? We were looking at Yone or Irelia, perhaps, but that's a Kindred mid. Rumble's going to be the only AP. A lot of engage on the Sion, some front line to work with, and the Kindred ult will negate this dive comp that Mad Lions kind of have in the Leona Kai'Sa. And Mad Lions' comp is very standard. They've got very meta picks, very front to back. 1-3-1 composition. The Sylas, I think, is a bit off for me. I'm not sure how it'll do in this game against Kindred Kalista, but if he can find a Kindred ult and get into the backline, maybe he can buy time for his team. But if you look at C9's comp holistically, it looks quite scary.
Absolutely does. And while there are a lot of incredibly hype matchups across the day, this is the one I think that, as a Western fan, I have been waiting for. Cloud9 versus Mad Lions. Who will come out on top? It feels like Cloud9 had so many aces up their sleeve in this draft. They clearly came in prepared. Mad Lions feel like they had to respond, feel like they had to adapt. What can they bring to the table here? For Perkz and Sven, you know that a win is on their mind. Need to take down EU. Need to show the world that they made the right decision to leave for the LCS.
Yeah, Perkz was laughing on those cams there with the Kindred pick. Definitely catching Mad Lions somewhat off guard. He has been playing it in solo queue a lot, I think, on his solo queue account, but Mad Lions definitely probably didn't expect that coming in. TP, PTA, Kindred mid up against Humanoid on his signature Lucian.
Oh, it's going to be explosive.
It is indeed going to be explosive.
And they talked about it on the desk already, but Humanoid and Perkz, two players who don't have a ton of history together, despite both spending so much time in EU, because Perkz was in the bot lane. Well, now Humanoid certainly is going to get a chance to face him down, show him up, and I don't know if he even is ready for this pick. I don't know how much this has been showing up in scrims. It shows up in solo queue, yes. How many times has Humanoid gotten a chance to play against it? I would imagine very few. So see if that gives Perkz any kind of edge in this matchup, as we're just going to have to see how this pick will work out as the game progresses.
Yeah, and you look at Perkz, he's got more AC titles, more general titles combined than the whole of Mad Lions put together. So Perkz definitely the most experienced player in this game, you would argue. One of the, if not the best player in the West's history with the achievements that Perkz has. And somewhat a lot of pressure here with this Kindred pick mid.
And certainly it feels like the most successful. Best obviously going to be a little bit more subjective. People would argue Caps, but obviously this is the chance for you to join in on the action as we may see something level 1 here. Send us your tweets using Verizon 5G All Chat for the chance to be featured on the broadcast. I imagine that Twitter will have a lot to say for this game. But for now, kind of waiting a little bit with bated breath just to see what is going to happen in this early game. Top lane we expect to be relatively quiet, but the rest of the map could be explosive at any moment.
Yeah, you're definitely right. I think top lane will be quite quiet in the early stages of the game, especially with Kalista Nautilus versus Kai'Sa Leona in the bot side of the map. Both junglers starting on the top side, patting down. Both going to try to contest this scuttle, so eyes on mid. Bot lane will be contested. We'll see who gets the mid push in this lane. I expect Lucian to push in early because Kindred needs her level 3. She needs points in QWE to actually contest the push and win out on this 1v1.
Absolutely does. Of course, the second she gets a point in the W, she'll start to get the essentially fleet footwork-esque passive that'll allow her to sustain a little bit better in this lane. That said, just going to track, again, how this champion does, how she trades in the extended plays as Fudge winning out over Armut here, getting a lot of good damage on the level 2 looking good as Armut just now takes over level 2, but a massive knockup from Fudge, and Fudge off to a solid start here in the top lane.
Yeah, winning these trades in the early stages. Armut has the corrupting pot to try to contest back, but he does level up on the creep, luckily, and he does trade back with the W. And Dracos, C9 at Worlds, all-time record versus EU, 4 wins, 7 losses. Mad Lions, all-time record against NA, 0-1.
Play-ins against Team Liquid, of course, on that loss. So for C9, hopefully with this roster looking to turn things around when it comes to the regional rivalry. Of course, C9's first MSI. A lot of chances at Worlds, but be interesting to see if Perkz is the one to start to build that record back in the C9 favor. As Mad, again, their story, while they certainly had a strong first stage here, making out of that first stage, a first time for this team and organization, they are looking to do more here. in MSI really need to come out swinging here in the Rumble stage as they already have with a single win.
Blabber skipped Krugs here to get to the crab early, but Elyoya didn't skip anything. So he's level 4 and he spots out Blabber. Humanoid has the mid push. He's chunking out Perks and he can collapse towards this river, but Vulcan's looking for an engage in bot.
Carzzy locked up, but they really have no follow-up damage. It's going to be a total proc on the Plasma here as Vulcan's now going to be in trouble. The cleanse coming out from Sven. Sven can maybe turn it back onto Kaiser. The flash away, the flash, the auto, the heals coming in. Sven can't finish the job. It's good damage back. Carzzy doesn't have it quite enough to finish it. It's an absolute bloodbath here. TP down to the bottom lane. Humanoid and Elyoya need to get out. They need to give up this crab. C9 have burned so many resources just to make sure Blabber can get ahead.
Yeah, C9's bot lane went all in there to try and contest the prio to be able to get towards the river first, but Mad Lions fight back. All summoners blown on the bot side for C9. Same thing for Mad Lions, but Carzzy still has flash, but crucially Fudge TP down, didn't get anything. He secured the crab for his team. He's going to secure the top crab as well, I think, but Mad Lions, it's going to be a 3v3. See who wants to pull the trigger first. Everyone has their summoner spells available. Armut goes in.
Absolute bloodbath. Armut leaping forward. He's going to get a little bit of health back. He's flashing out of safety. He's ticking. He's getting lower and lower. Fudge can't quite finish the job. Fudge flashing in. Fudge trying to finish it, but Armut, he makes it out. Perks now trying to hunt down Humanoid. This is disastrous. The backstep, the mounting dread is not quite enough damage. The flash in, the damage, the autos, they're enough. Humanoid, he still lives. This is heartbreaking for C9. They're so close, but they just get outplayed at every opportunity. Say it with me, EU. Elyoya, Elyoya, Elyoya.
3v3 from the top side goes Mad Lions' way. The Udyr is so strong, level 4. Armut goes in. Fudge can't take him down. Blabber tries to find one back. Triple kill to this rookie jungler of Mad Lions, and such a good start in this early game for EU. As we look at this again, Elyoya, I think Armut's the one who pulls the trigger first in this new Axe effect replay. He just goes into 3 people. There's a warded on that bush, so Fudge actually has no Q for the fight. And Armut just about lives, gets his combo off. And because he flashes away, Fudge chases him. Blabber's chunked out. C9 are split up. Elyoya peels just in time. That stun just about saves Armut. And then Elyoya again with the stun saves Humanoid. Smites the crab for the move speed. And they get 3 kills.
And Kadril, I wish I could pretend that this was a total story about execution, but sometimes everything just lines up in your favor. The timing hits home perfectly. The bear stun comes in on the flash auto, laughs and smiles on the face of Mad Lions. That was one of the closest early exchanges we've seen in the entire tournament so far. It was 10, 15 health on just about everybody away from turning in the favor of Cloud9. A fantastic start for Mad Lions, and C9's kind of full court press there, trying to push across the entire map just to make sure they get the double crab, turns against them here as we now see a 2K gold lead just about in the favor of Mad.
Yeah, that ward in the bush was horrific for the side of C9. They saw the Scion charge Q. Humanoid trading aggressively onto Perks.
Yes, Culling. He's just going to back up. Perks now holding on for now, but that's the immediate hook on the bottom side. Blabber's here in the midst of everybody. Elyoya trying to get damage down, but it's Carzzy flashing off into vision. Elyoya now on a rampage. Blabber going to be in trouble. Everything is falling apart for Cloud9. That's a double for Elyoya. The rookie jungler, his first split he makes to MSI, his first game against NA. He's killing everybody.
Humanoid gets taken down. I think he was trying to dive Perks. Perks didn't actually use the Lamb's Respite, so he must have killed him and leveled up after the fight. But Elyoya, the 3v3 in bot side, 5 kills in 6 minutes for him. Humanoid, I would like to see the replay on that mid 1v1 again. Maybe he misplayed it, but he tried to dive Perks. Perks fights back, and C9 finds something.
And Perks is not a player you get cocky against. You cannot afford to get too confident. Level 6 timing clutch from Perks. When we see that back, we'll have to see how it worked out, because that right now is the silver lining on a very dark cloud of an early game for Cloud9. Their second play again turns against them here. Perks, only man with a kill on the lineup.
Yeah, and they get the bot side, they get the push, and they get the dragon. So Mad Lions winning out in this early game. And Blabber's trying to trade back. He's taking the Raptors on the top side of the map. If he stays around too long, it could be dangerous, because Elyoya's coming out of base, decides against going for the red buff. But these plays are just backfiring on these 3v3s. And we'll watch this mid fight again. So, level 5, he's not even close to level 6. Humanoid just W's, goes for the dive, the healing, like you said.
Oh.
And he just straight up levels up. Humanoid, that was a bit of a questionable dive. Didn't have the damage to take down Perks. And he does manage to find the solo kill. Humanoid knows that he made a mistake there. Still winning the lane, still 20 CS up, but that kill will make it a lot more even here. No, hang on a second. He's still 500 gold up from the assist as well, but still, Perks definitely helped out by that kill.
And this is something that's important to note is that Cloud9 were here earlier in the game versus RNG, falling behind the early game. Yes, the circumstances were different, but they have fallen behind before already this tournament and come back and made it look competitive. And similarly, Cloud9 said in all their interviews after the finals, look, we're not a team who tilts super easily. We're not a team who falls apart super easily. You can see Perks, despite a rough early game, laughing in that last play. May look to laugh again as he leaps forward, throws down the Lamb's Respite. Now has to back away on this one, but trading ults with Humanoid.
Yeah, ult trade there, and Mad Lions jungler was around, Vulcan was around, everyone was around for that fight. Even Sven was there. Now they're losing out on these bot waves, so C9 need to get the bot as fast as they can, but Mad Lions will stop them. It's going to be a red buff contest. It will be a 3v3. Karzi's not level 6 to join with Killer Instinct yet, though. 5%.
Big ulti, though, coming in from Rumble. Kaiser could be the one to break it burn down, but Elio is just tearing through the entire team. They managed to find 2. They get nothing back. Matter's simply too far ahead.
Yeah, just way too far ahead. Karzi didn't even have the level 6. He just gets it off the back of that play, but the Rumble didn't do anything. Kaiser went in and just tanked it all. Another 2 kills for the side of Mad Lions. This early game's falling apart for Cloud9. They lose their red buff. They're losing out on bot waves. And when you're playing things like Rumble, Kindred, Kalista, you need to find some kills early. You need to start contesting back. But when you fall behind these champs, it's going to be really difficult for Cloud9, to find their way back.
And Udyr's the champion who just does so much work with levels, whereas Rumble, he wants that Night Harvester. Yes, level 6 is good. Predator is good to have, but you can see in this matchup, for Blabber, getting absolutely decimated. Incredibly large individual gold lead. 2 plays going to turn against Blabber. Elyoya pulls ahead, and he is just not letting off the gas.
Yeah, and I think the strongest consistency point for Cloud9 in lane phase especially has been the bot side of the map. It has been Sven and Vulcan in the lane phase itself, but because of that lost 3v3 earlier on, and because of this invade from Mad Lions, Sven and Vulcan are just too far behind to contest. Karzi 2-0-1 on this Kai'Sa, and he's the staple factor for Mad Lions when it comes to the team fights. He's the one pumping out all that damage. You can see on the stats, almost first in absolutely everything, and you can just remember Karzi in all of these games on Tristana, Kai'Sa, Philios. He's the one doing all the damage.
And he's absolutely set up for success in this game too, because he has the Kai'Sa, the freedom to leap into the backline at a moment's notice, where Perkz and Sven maybe don't have enough items, don't have enough gold to contest with the Kai'Sa. Now they do have the luxury of the Lamb's Respite. We're going to have to see how these team fights will play out with a Kindred in the mid lane.
A Kindred in the mid lane indeed, but he's getting pushed in, still 30 CS down, and Mad Lions, you can see Kai'Sa went towards the top side because Karzi can catch bot waves for free, and it looks like they wanted to start up the Herald, but look at C9 responding really well. They're just going for a full swap, so while Karzi's not on this bot side of the map, he's not showing. Importantly, Karzi's not showing on the bot side, and it means C9 have to be scared that he could be towards the top side. I think pushing out and moving towards mid would be the best thing here, because C9 looks like they want to commit to a swap. It looks like they're unsure what they want to do here, but now they are running towards the Herald, and it looks like they're going to start it up. They get spotted out, and Mad Lions have all the information they need to look for a cross-map play. Will Mad Lions just go for the bot tier 1, or will they look to fight? Looks like they're just going to trade.
And I like that C9 are grouping up around this objective, trying to get something back. We'll see what Karzi can do on the bottom side. In the meantime, how much is this Herald actually going to cost them? Will they get back the 2 plates that they would otherwise lose from Shelly here?
Yeah, and Fudge could TP towards his bot tier 1 to catch this wave, but the thing is, the second he does that, he's going to get dove. There it is. There's the TP, like I mentioned, but I think that he's just going to get dove when he does this. Maybe he can clear out the wave and ult away. Maybe that's the thought process here, but look at Elyoya. He's running down. Uses the ult aggressively, though. I think he might just die here if Mad Lions tank it up properly.
Fudge can almost just one-shot the wave. He has the zombie form as well. They have to be careful. They have to be flawless on the tower aggro. Fudge, was it a mistake to TP in? It looks like the answer is yes. They just run out to safety. Fudge can clear the wave with zombie form, though. Maybe buy a bit more time, but that is disastrous.
Looks like that's the play from C9 there. Fudge TP's in, loses his life, but he clears the wave. And what that does is it slows the tempo down of Mad Lions on taking this bot tier 1. They had a huge wave stacked up. They probably would have got most of the plates on that first 2 waves that they had. And now that the wave's dead, it means that the bot pushes slower. Karzi's only on 3 plates on this bot tower, pushing out the next wave, while C9 can herald this top tier 1. So they're slightly ahead on the push, but Fudge does end up losing his life. Another kill over to Karzi. And this bot tower will get chunked out. It won't die quite yet. You can see Karzi basing. So good macro play from Cloud9 to defend the waves.
Arma, though, just barely able to hold on to the tower for now as the Caster Creeps try to finish the job.
Tower's alive still. I wonder why C9 didn't just commit to it. That's the first tower of the game, local gold. I think they're going to have to stay around here. Maybe just walk up and take it on this next wave.
Maybe they're hoping that Arma will approach the wave. Arma, no shutdown. Really, the person that they want to target is either Karzi or Elyoya to get more gold back into their pockets, but they'll take what they can, and it looks like they've just made sure that Sven is alone and isolated on the top side. Arma going to appear there, and we'll see if the Kalista wants to walk forward for a single auto, if Arma's just going to hold the wave outside of tower range.
They lost their window, I think, to get this top tier 1, because now Karzi's going to swap towards the top side. 4 members strong. I think Armut might have to TP bot. There it is. TP's towards the bot side. Top river is... Okay.
Shout out to Brian Kibler, incredible MTG player, the king of dragons, and maybe sad to see everything focused on the Herald side of the map, but as he said, Top River is basically Cloud9's Bermuda Triangle this tournament. Don't go there, or you'll just disappear.
And again, don't go there now either, because Mad Lions have full control, deep vision on the blue buff area of Cloud9. Karzi pushing in, and C9 missed their window of opportunity to get this tier 1 top. It's going to live on 1 HP, and they're not going to be able to get it. They can't even trade on the bot side either. Look at bot wave. Armut TP'd in and pushed it in. Humanoid TPing back mid. 3 pushing lanes for Mad Lions. Cloud9 have no cross map response.
Fudge is going to do what he can to take the Gromp, but Perks is now in trouble.
Oh!
Humanoid goes in, just finishes him off with the Gale Force. A little solo bolo in the mid lane.
Yeah, Perks doesn't react in time with the Lamb's Respite. The Gale Force takes him down. We saw the exact same thing with Xiaohu onto Blabber. C9 dying to these Gale Forces. Humanoid picks up a solo kill. Not only is he 30 CS up and 2 plates up, he's also got a solo kill now. So this Kindred pick is not working out as well as Perks perhaps would have wanted it. But here's the cross map from Cloud9. Can they dive Armut? He should know something's up here.
Quick word in the rider. Just going to leap away, takes the Rumble. Ultimate can throw down on the Equalizer if they commit too hard in the play. Kaiser in the area. Arma now going to throw down his own Equalizer. They are going to be able to get down Kaiser. A good stun comes down onto Blabber, but C9, are they going to have this one turned on them as Oyoyo now comes down to the bottom lane. The tower is very much still alive. Oyoyo ready to come over the wall.
Looks like they might want to defend the wave. Armut goes forwards, but he doesn't collect the chains. MVP Kaiser. Good guy Kaiser tanks the hook for Armut and saves his life instead of letting his top laner die. They do end up clearing the wave in the end, and C9 don't really get many plates on this bot side of the map. They end up getting a kill, but let's look at this 1v1 again, because Perks has the ultimate. Humanoid's TP back with his mythic item. Just dashes in, gets the auto Q into Gale Force, and from there, Perks just didn't expect that damage, the execute coming out from that item.
Another Drake now going into the favor of Mad. And this is grim. If you are a C9 fan, a 7K gold deficit at 13 minutes of the game feels just about insurmountable. All it was 1 or 2 early skirmishes, very aggressive early skirmishes that Cloud9 initiated that Mad ultimately won out on. Thinking back to the Oyoyo triple kill, the bot lane gank, but with the deficits they've now built up, with the composition that they put together, it feels very difficult to play this one out. The damage from Humanoid in these short trades is just outstanding.
Yeah, Mad Lions, 7,000 gold lead at 14 minutes. They have all the pushing lanes they need. Elyoya so far ahead, and so they're so tanky. Mad Lions can pick and choose wherever they want to go on the map, and Cloud9 are the ones who have to respond with cross maps. You can see Mad Lions moving into the bot side jungle, and Sven just pushing in top, trying to get that top tier 1 as a response. Karzi will get the bot tier 1, but because they have numbers mid, they can look for mid tower.
Perks now in trouble. Big fight going out. Elyoyo just running into Perks. That's going to be the Lamb's Respite. They can just wait. They can just walk this one out. Sion ulti's going to get used immediately. Fudge locked up and taken out. Colin coming down on the backside. Rumble has to ult just to clear the wave. And Mad Lions will grab yet another kill.
Yeah, Mad Lions commit numbers mid, and they have the tier 1 bot taken down from Karzi. So playing on 2 lanes. Oh, Karzi's going in!
Feeling it. The flash away. He takes down Perks. Elyoyo's here for the follow-up. Vulcan needs to hook a wall and get out to safety. Waiting, holding on, backing off. Elyoyo body blocking as Blabber gets lower and lower. Humanoid off to the side.
Does have the Gale Force and the flash. There it is. He's going in. Vulcan
feeling himself, but he is going to get locked up and taken out. A little bit too much confidence there from the Mad Lions as the shutdown goes to Blabber.
Classic Humanoid diving between towers, going way too deep. Does get shut down in the end. Doesn't find a kill. Bit of a mistake there. Blabber does pick it up. TV behind now. Maybe C9 can find something. Here comes Fudge.
Karzi spotted. Oyoyo in the area. Kaiser in the area. Fudge, I don't think he's going to be able to get anything back. Roar the Slayer slows just a little bit, but he doesn't even have time to channel the knockup. Sven in the area as well, but they're just cutting through the front line of Fudge. They don't have enough tanky stats. Maybe they can kill Oyoyo. Maybe they can get another shutdown. They're running away as the zombie passive comes out. If they finish Oyoyo, it's big for Cloud9. It's more money back, but again, the CC on Fudge, he just cannot auto-attack this game.
Everything C9's doing just keeps backfiring. They're losing out on every play. Yes, the mistake from Humanoid netted them a kill, but Mad Lions have 3 towers to 1. They're winning out on the cross maps because they're playing on 2 lanes every single time. And as soon as they pull the trigger to engage, Kindred has to use her ultimate almost instantly, and Armut's re-engage was clean.
Good use of the ultimate, waiting. And this is the luxury that you have. Maybe in a closer game, the Kindred all buys time and makes sure that you cannot win out in these trades. It turns them against you, but we can see that as Cloud9 fall further and further behind, everything they use just kind of turns against them.
Yeah, Karzi sniping out Perks there. He was recalling on a ward, so he does manage to connect, and Humanoid being Humanoid does the classic, does look for the dive here. Hook into ult, into tower, he just dies.
Yeah, dying is a classic, but him diving between towers to try to one-shot someone isn't really a classic. Him getting caught on the side lane is a classic. Yeah, this is just full confidence. When you're 2-2-4, maybe you think, oh, I shouldn't be that confident. But when you're, you know, 8K gold ahead.
Blabber's on a ward, though, clearing the Krugs, gets stunned up.
Goes over the wall, he's isolated. Karzi has the empowered Q. Easy pickup collector as well, just for a little bit of extra gold.
Yeah, now Mad Lions have a bot wave to play on when Humanoid pushes out, and a mid wave to play on, so they might have to be looking for, they might look for some more towers here. And again, Cloud9 only playing on 1 lane. Cloud9 looking for Kaiser here, but they have no damage. This Kaiser's way too far ahead. 2 items at 16 minutes.
Kajal, and I love the EUNA rivalry. I want games where it's neck and neck till the final moment, but this is not one of those games. This is an absolute slaughter. Mad Lions are demolishing Cloud9, and for Cloud9, you are grasping at straws if you are hoping for a comeback at this point.
Oh yeah, definitely. They need to wait for mistakes to be made, but you can see the confidence in Mad Lions. Look at Elyoya's items. Has the Magi's. stacked up on Udyr. 10 stacks already. Pushing in every lane, looking for tier 2s at 17 minutes. Cloud9 need to wait for Mad Lions to make a mistake. Maybe they can capitalize on numbers advantages, and that's why they're committing 4 people towards this bot side of the map. Fudge is behind them with the ultimate up soon. So if Armwood shows on this top wave, maybe they have a 5 to 10 second window where they can find a 5v4 or a 5v3.
It's even shorter than that because they have to wait for the TP channel. That's about the only window that they're going to get is Humanoid again stepping forward. Level 10 for Sven, 1 item under his belt, can start to poke down knowing that he has his allies behind him. Fudge, level 11, almost has the Scion ultimate up and available. But again, as you said, man advantages, full committal to small picks. Trading 1 for 1, not a bad deal for Cloud9 at this point in the game. Just slow the game down, just stall, just try to scale up. That said, it's not like the previous game. It's not like they have the front line and the luxury of confidently winning out in teamfights with a Malphite. This is a very hard composition to play as we get later in the game.
Yeah, definitely. Kalista, Kindred, Rumble, they need to execute the fights properly with some clean engage from Vulcan and Fudge so they can lock down Humanoid. And they have the tools to do it, right? If Vulcan or Fudge can land some CC onto Humanoid with a Rumble ult, if Sven can start hitting, then they do have the damage to take him down. The problem is they're so far behind that finding that engage is difficult because the amount of vision Mad Lions have, because they have your tier 1s and arguably almost your tier 2s, they can push into your jungle, get full deep vision, so they know exactly what you're doing almost at all times when they're pushing in the lanes. You're either showing on the lane or you're showing on the wards in jungle trying to sweep them out, so Mad Lions can respect that, play with the information they've got, and they just need to make sure they don't find some kind of risky play. Humanoid going in here would be one of them. As Vulcan and Perks are setting it up, he doesn't have too much vision to work with. Blabber's around, he does get spotted out. So Mad Lions fishing for vision here. That's what the key of this game here is, along with the Drake.
More vision, more control, more pressure, grabbing the Drake. Ocean Soul in a game like this, a pretty easy way to come out on top, as if the 8K gold lead was not enough. So we are now 5 minutes away from potentially the Ocean Soul for the Mad Lions, 5 minutes for Cloud9 to scale up to find an opportunity to bring themselves back into this game. But we're at Soul Point only 19 minutes into the game. Again, similar to last game, so fast, so one-sided. See what C9 can do to bring themselves back.
Yeah, and Mad Lions might even just push in this mid wave and set up for the Herald respawn as well. They have so much resources to work with in vision. Humanoid needs to be careful though. C9, once they see Mad Lions going for this Herald, he is definitely a risk factor for Mad Lions. If he gets caught out, C9 commit numbers and maybe they can find a pick. But that's the only thing Mad Lions can do at this stage of the game. They can only really look for picks, so Mad Lions have to be careful to make sure they don't get caught out. So Humanoid pushes in a bot wave, moves towards mid, make sure he's safe. He's going to push in mid now, and C9 might be a bit too deep here.
Ulti coming down, Carzzy going across the entire team, buying a bit more time with the Kindred ult. Elio waiting now to go in. He could try to come over the wall and go into Perks. They're going to back away though. Kaiser incredibly low. C9, a favorable trade as Carzzy playing potentially a bit too cocky as the culling now comes out. That's going to be the Herald used in the mid lane. All of C9 now forced away. Keep in mind, without a Rumble ult, without a control mage, they don't really have a way to slow this game down.
And they have a wave top to move into as well. Take the whole top side jungle, push in top. Maybe they can start hitting on that top tier 1, but they have to be careful because Kaiser's low and Fudge is going to push out bot with that TP available. So it looks like they're not going to use the top wave. They're moving towards the Baron here. Mad Lions just going to start it up. Armwood has the Rumble ult to work with. C9 have no vision. The Blue Orb's going to spot it out. And Mad Lions have a lot of damage to take this down. C9 on the move. But he's coming in.
Mad Lions, you got a lead, but are you confident enough to flip it here? Kaiser stepping forward. Elioya coming over the wall, coming over the pit. That's going to be the stolen Rumble all in the midst of everybody. That's one shot. Carzzy now dominating. Elioya zooming forward. Perks with no ulti. He sees his opportunity, but Fudge left alone as the rest of Cloud9 runs for the hill. The flash in place from Humanoid as Mad Lions just continue to push their lead forward. Fudge goes down, and you have to think that that will be the Baron for Mad.
Yeah, they're going to start it up again here, and Kaiser did lose his life, but really good setup for Mad Lions. They knew that Cloud9 had no vision. Cloud9 thought that they would base because they're so far behind in tempo and they're quite low because Kaiser got chunked out. But no, they baited him into a fight. Rumble's going to buy some time, but they're going to spread out. Armwood looks for the turn.
Armwood now going. Humanoid now stepping forward. The objective's getting lower and lower. Can they turn this back? Armwood goes down. Perks leaps into the pit. Can they steal it away? Can they get it? But they cannot. The Baron has been taken. Carzzy 1v1 with Sven off to the side, but he shuts him down. Max plasma stacks achieved, and now Yoya is on the hunt. No follow-up here, though. Cloud9 will walk away Baronless, almost empty-handed.
Yeah, Carzzy didn't have the ult just up in time to look for the re-engage onto Perks and Blabber, but they tried to contest it. They try to find a way to stop the Baron, but in the end, the Baron falls 21 minutes into the game. As you get a replay of the initial Baron start, Mad Lions just trying to force a fight here. Kaiser gets taken down, but the Rumble ult from Armwood zones away Perks. That means he has to split away from his team. Elioya chases him down with Humanoid on the backside, and Mad Lions just have way too much golden items for C9 to be able to turn any kind of engage. Yes, they got down Kaiser, but from that point onwards, you just have to run away from this double AD carry composition with an Udyr next to it.
Full confidence and smiles from the face of Mad Lions. Not sure what they were expecting in this one, but absolute dominance has been the name of the game. You can see that red line just steadily growing and growing in the favor of Mad. And in this Red Bull Baron power play, their gold lead's only going to continue to grow. 10K in their favor, 3 Drakes. We are 2 minutes away from an Ocean Soul for Mad, and it feels like Cloud9 are out of this one.
Yeah, Mad Lions, full topside vision, Humanoid pushing in bot. The 1-3-1 is activated for Mad Lions. They have double TP as well in case a mid-fight breaks out. So C9, you can see what they're doing. Move towards the bot side, try to catch out one of these side laners, but Mad Lions, they read the play. The W from Cars is going to spot them out. Humanoid's not even pushing bot anymore because he knows he could get caught, so he's going to group up. And Mad Lions will siege on this top tier too.
Oh, and Elyoya is just so tanky as well with double AD threats and a Rumble. Easy pickup on the Randuins on top of the Chem Tank. It is going to be nigh impossible for Sven and Perks to get away from Elyoya. 6-0-6 rookie split. Keep that in mind. Fudge now locked up, set to fall here. They are not concerned about the sign. The immediate ult now comes out. Equalizer down on the backside. Elyoya trying to walk out of this one, but all the follow-up CC is there. They can get the shutdown. They can shut down Elyoya. Elyoya running for the hills. Big. That is going to be the shutdown over to Perks. A ton of money, but Mad, they are still in control of this game. They will break the tier 2.
Yeah, massive shutdown for Perks. Elyoya and Kaiser going way too deep on that dive. Going for a full tank Sion in a Kindred ult. They're just getting a bit too cocky on that dive. I think they do end up getting the tier 2, which was the initial objective. Small blunder there. Elyoya loses his life, loses the Magi stacks as well, which is also a small, nice kind of positive there for Cloud9. Perks picking up his second item of the game. They're holding on here, but Mad Lions almost 11,000 gold ahead. Dragon in 30 seconds. Elyoya should be up in time. If C9 can establish some kind of vision control, then maybe if Mad Lions face check, they can find a fight.
And it's one step at a time right now for Cloud9. They don't get to look too far ahead in the game. It's one objective, it's one fight, it's about survival. They don't get the luxury of planning super far ahead, so for now it is Ocean Soul in their sights. 19 seconds on this Drake. There is no control, there is no setup from the side of Mad. If Mad might be strong enough to just walk in here, but it'll be Cloud9 who controls the territory, Cloud9 who controls the pit. If there was a time for them to turn, it is now.
Yeah, Cloud9 waiting for Mad Lions to walk up. Mad Lions aren't scared of anything. Kaiser can be their frontliner. Elyoya's here. C9 forced backwards means this has to be a steal, but Blabber has no flash if Mad Lions just force the play. Looks like they're just going to pick up the Ocean Soul. Cloud9 opting out of that fight. They know if they lose that fight, the game is over. But then again, the enemy team having Ocean Soul, it's going to be even harder to fight next time.
Last minute equalizer. Timing was close. Not close enough, however, is Ocean Soul now over to the side of Mad. Kaiser stepping forward. The ulti only going to find the slow, but it's Humanoid over the wall. Gale forcing forward. Mad. Very bloodthirsty this game, almost too much so, but they've built themselves a big enough lead that it doesn't matter. They can afford to make small mistakes or get over-aggressive with cooldowns and not have it cost them anything.
Karzi on this Kaiser, almost 3 items picking up, almost picking up the Infinity Edge to make it 4 items at 24 minutes into the game. We talked about it. He is the main damage dealer for the side of Mad Lions, and he has all the tools he needs to look for it. And it looks like they're going for a 5-man bot here. They're not using the mid wave that is actually pushed in. They're going to siege onto bot tower. C9 have the engage if they want to stop it. But Armwood has taken away the Nautilus ult, so that means C9 can push in mid. I think Mad Lions might have to give up on the siege, but no, they're staying. I think Kaiser has to look for some kind of dive here.
They're determined. Are they far enough ahead to fight against the turret as well? Equalizer goes down, they leap out, but that's Kaiser now locked up. He flashes out to safety. Fudge with a good engage on the backside. Sven and Perks for now are untouched, but Fudge is not strong enough as a front line to weather the storm. Mad backing away, knowing that they cannot fight into the zombie passive. Isolating Fudge and taking him out before they push for any more, but Mad Lions, it doesn't look like they're done yet.
Carries of Mad Lions doing so much damage that full tank Sion gets melted. He doesn't have the items yet. He only has 2. He has the Frostfire Gauntlet and the Knight's Vow. These aren't the best items. You need things like the Randuins to deal with this double AD carry composition. And Mad Lions, after getting the pick, they're still going to siege. No Baron buff, but they are going to be able to take down this tier 3 tower and the bot inhibitor. C9, can they respond with some kind of engage? Fudge is up in 10 seconds with TP. Perks
in trouble. Big damage now coming into Fudge and Familiar. No chance to push the ult, and that might just be it. Mad Lions moving in. Mad Lions looking for the kill. Rumble equalizer across the entire back line. Sven safe for now, but the turn back, it's not enough. Vulcan puts himself in harm's way and gets dropped. Mad Lions from start to finish. One bad skirmish from the side of Cloud9, and Mad Lions turn it into a massive, massive win. They're taking their time on this one because, you know, in NA versus EU, it's always a little personal. Perks and Sven will walk away empty-handed as Mad Lions take the win over Cloud9.
Diving into the Nexus as well. The Ocean Soul's keeping them full HP. Are they going to go for a 5v1 dive here? It would be too risky. I think they're just going to close this one out. What a dominant showing from the side of Mad Lions. As I say that, they're going to go in for it.
5v1 dive, one more. Little stat padding for Fudge, a little salt in the wound for North America. Mad Lions, absolute dominance, 2-0 in the Rumble stage. They were expected to win their first game. This game was supposed to be close, but an early game performance from Mad Lions and from Elyoya that will not be quickly forgotten. A masterclass on Udyr if I've ever seen one.
What a dominant early game from Mad Lions. And those 3v3s could have gone any way. You know, one small different play, one small mechanical change or a click. Maybe they could have got an extra kill, but Elyoya on the Udyr on the top side fight, just stunning everyone, saving his whole team, and then the bot lane fight going in their favor as well. Udyr's all of a sudden 5-0, and the game just snowballs out of control from that point.
And in draft phase, it felt like Cloud9 had something special up their sleeve, had something creative, and it looked like moving and fighting for every single crab. But when that second fight turned against them, the game felt like it ended before it really even got a chance to get started.
Yeah, and from that point, when the jungler's so far ahead,